Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Loudguns, and today we're going to be kicking off the new Players Handbook. So this is a mini-series for new players to help you get going in Star Citizen. I've got 6 episodes planned to begin with that should help you with basic controls on foot and in flight, running your first missions, outfitting your character, and choosing a basic starter profession. I'll probably add more as and when I come across additional bits that might be useful. But the main idea is to show that you don't need to worry too much about buying loads of expensive ships to get out there and have a good time in Star Citizen. My main recommendation to anyone considering the game would be to just start with a base starter package, either an Aurora or a Mustang. If you twist my arm later on, I'll also point you to 2 of my slightly more advanced starters that I'd give my seal of approval. But find out whether or not you enjoy the game first, would be my main message. If you are just watching this to get a feel for whether or not StarCit is for you, then make sure you use a referral code when you set up your account. It doesn't have to be mine, but I'll flash mine up on the screen just in case you want to use that one. But just make sure for you that you use somebody's, as it will get you some extra starting credits, which can come in handy in your first days. And if you're watching this in 3.14, when it releases, I believe it will get you a Drake Dragonfly hover bike as well. So that'll be a pretty cool bonus to begin with. So Star Citizen is currently in very much an alpha state, and you should go into it with your eyes open on that. However, one of the best recommendations I can possibly make is to make an effort to play with other people. The multi-crew and MMO aspects of this game are what sets it apart from the competition, in my opinion. So if you're keen to find folks to play with and you're after a fairly chilled out group, then please feel free to come and say hi on Discord. There's a link in the video description down below. So I guess we'll start from the very beginning. So this is the main menu, and if we click on Persistent Universe, we'll be taken to character customization. So you can start by selecting your gender, and then you can cycle through sources to base your character on. Once you're happy with that one, you can go to blending. So this gives another character model that you can sort of blend into your character to create an overall look. Just worth sort of saying at this point that you can come back and tweak this at any point you want. So you can always, before you go into the PU, go and change your appearance. So I'll just give myself a slightly cleaner haircut. Let's maybe make it grey so that I seem older and more intelligent. And then let's undo that good work by giving myself some red eyes. Why not? Once you're happy, just click accept. So that would take us back to the location selection. We select the system. Stanton's the only one we've got at the moment. And then we have to select from one of 4 starter locations. So these are each capital cities on the different planets. I'm going to select Lorville for the purposes of this guide, just because it's fairly easy to get out into space from. So when we spawn in, we're going to spawn in our bed in the hab. So the first thing is to get out of bed. Hold down F and then left click on where it says get up. So F is your interaction key, so there's lots of things that you can interact with. So that's this coffee machine, for instance. Hold down F, left click to make coffee. But notably I don't have a mug, so let's maybe run away before anybody sees me damaging the hab. So door panels, hold down F, left click to open the door. We'll then come out onto this ground floor. So every time you spawn into Lorville, you'll come out into one of these type blocks. The exit is up the stairs. Sometimes you'll spawn already on the mezzanine deck. You won't have to find that staircase, but we will head to the elevator that says exit. So before we go too far, I just want to take a quick look at chat over on the left. So we can open up global chat by pressing enter. Press tab to scroll between different chat types like party, direct messages. But I'm just going to close chat away by pressing F12. Just to save some screen real estate. So we will call this elevator, and when it arrives, we'll come in and look at the panel. So some of the panels have too many options, so we want ground floor. You can scroll down through multiple options with your mouse wheel while you're holding F. And if we exit the elevator and follow the pathway around here, then we've completed stage 1, we've successfully exited the hab. So you'll notice your character's walking at a bit of leisurely pace. You can scroll up on the mouse wheel to add some speed and sprint with shift. If If you want to take a look outside your character, that's just F4 to cycle over the shoulder third-person modes. But just be careful sprinting everywhere. You don't want to give yourself a heart attack, something that is actually possible. If we hug the wall all the way to the left, we'll find our way quickly to the spaceport train line. So this is going to take us straight to the spaceport to get off the planet as quickly as possible. However, take some time to take a look around, if it's your first time. So the interaction mode goes for lots of things. So you can, I know you only just got out of bed, but you can still have a seat while you wait for the train. And then if you hold down Y, you'll get out of any seats that you're in. So it's worth taking the time to learn some of these keyboard shortcuts. Does just make sort of your gameplay a lot more fluid. And so get yourself a seat by the window and enjoy the view. And like I say, sort of I'm just showing you the quickest way off the planet. But I would sort of take your time, poke around some of these landing zones. By all means, don't feel obliged to come and start at Lorville. Go and check out which other ones tickle your fancy. However, what we're just focusing on here is just getting you down with the basics, effectively. So we follow the exit signs and keep pathing around this way. We will turn left here. Right is to the other sort of train line in Lorville, which will take us to the business district. But we will go through security. Don't have to worry about anything you might be carrying at the moment. That's not implemented yet. So you can go through with all the rail guns you desire. And we will find our way to these stairs, which take us into the main terminal building. So over to our left, we'll find the vehicle retrieval consoles. So you'll find these at all sorts of places across the verse. When you tend to get new people in Star Citizen, usually the first question they have is, how the hell do I get out of the bed? And the second question is, how do I get my ship? So these are where you get your ship. So if we walk up to one of these, hold down F and click use, you might have guessed by now, this will open up the fleet manager. So there's no point me doing a starter guide and then giving myself a 5 million credit ship. So I'm going to get out my Aurora ES, which is one of the starter options. That will retrieve the vehicle and it will tell us where it's located. So that comes up Hangar 9. Now you'll notice that the Aurora has now appeared on my HUD, that blue dot, which also says Hangar 9. So just in case I forget where I'm going, you don't have to go back to the terminal each time. So we're going to come towards the elevators to hangars. We will just call one of these. And from the list there, select Hangar 9. If you're wondering about the differences between the Aurora and the Mustang, the two starter ships, the Mustang is a bit more combat oriented, whereas the Aurora, as you can see, is almost kind of like a space caravan in my mind. Sort of single berth space caravan. I think that description fits it. So we can hold down F and we've got a variety of options, but we can just go with entering the ship, which will do the whole animation of opening the doors and getting us in. So there's our bed at the back of the Aurora. So that would allow us to log out of the game. It's a bit janky at the moment. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Hold down F and get into the pilot seat. And now we're behind the controls. Let's just power everything on straight to flight ready mode by pressing R on the keyboard. You can do it through interaction with the ship panels, but it's really useful to learn some of these shortcuts. So while the ship's warming up, let's open up our mobiGlas with F1. This is basically your smartphone of Star Citizen. So the first screen, you've got sort of some basic information. Like your name in case you forget it, and your bank balance. And along the bottom you've got the apps. So if we click on this one, it opens the comlink. We can also get straight to the comlink by pressing F11. But if we go to our friends, we'll find Lorville Landing Services, and we just click on that little icon next to it to hail the ATC. So the third question new players tend to ask, if they get this far, is how do I get these hangar doors to open? So anytime there's a hangar door in your way, just make sure that you call for takeoff permission. And that usually gets the hangar door to move. So when you're ready, it's spacebar to up thrust and take us off to clear the hangar. So once we get outside, we can sort of press F4 to look outside the ship at any point. But first things first, we want to just put away our landing gear. So press N, and you'll see over on the left-hand side, that gear light has just blinked out. So W to apply some forward thrust, and we'll use the mouse to sort of pitch ourselves upwards. Now, if we don't want to hold W the whole time, we can press C. And if we want to allow our ship to get a bit more speed, then we can roll up with the mouse wheel that moves that speed limiter. Ship might fight you a bit at this point, so sort of if you want to keep it level, it's Q and E to roll. But we just want to try and make sure that we're just maintaining a decent amount of vertical motion. We can hold down the free look button, that defaults to Z to, while we're in third person, get a look around our ship. If we hold F4 and scroll with the mouse wheel, we can zoom further in and out, just to see the pretty scenery as it disappears below us. So just taking a quick look at the HUD, over on the left we've got our speed and our speed limiter. In the middle we've got our attitude meter indicating our pitch, and over on the right hand side, sort of scrolling up as it goes, we've got our altitude meter showing our distance above sea level. So as we get that message that we're leaving the restricted area, we can start thinking about navigation. So press F2 to open your star map, and that just gets you straight to the star map app in your Mobiglass. And we want to zoom in on Hurston, so just double click that planet, and then you can scroll in to get a closer look. So we will set a course for Everus Harbour. We left click on Everus, and then we set route at the top. And you see now over on the left hand side we've got the route set, and on the right hand side we've got a bit of a blurb to read about Everus. So now we want to line ourselves up with that, so we can follow that arrow that's pointing us towards this blue box. We can also use the green compass in the middle. But press B to get your quantum drive spooling up, and make sure you're aligned so that it calibrates. Then when both are done, hold down B to just make that quick jump. So there we are, sort of 20 kilometers away from Everus. So since we're sort of safely in space, just a quick rundown of controls. Sort of Q and E were our roll, and A and D will sort of strafe you left and right. W and S provide forward and back thrust. And then it's control to go down and space to go up. So let's start getting closer towards Everus. Just while we got one on screen, it's worth pointing out that little blue hat type symbol just to the top left of the red square, that's another player. The fact that it's blue indicates they don't have a crime stat, so probably they're not going to shoot you, not guaranteed. But definitely beware of red versions of the same symbol, that will indicate a hostile player or NPC. White ones are NPCs, sort of who haven't done anything wrong, but they'll indicate things like station defences and the Navy ships that fly around. The fact that they're blue indicates they probably won't shoot you, they don't have a crime stat, but beware of that same symbol being red, because that indicates either a hostile player or NPC. As we've gone into the closer surroundings of Everus, you'll notice that bullet with the line through it has appeared in the top right. That indicates we're in an armistice zone and our weapons will be locked. The satellite to the left of it indicates we're in a comm array, so if anybody commits a crime on us or we commit a crime on someone else, then that will get reported. But when we get even closer, we get the contact ATC to land. So we'll do this off an MFD display, so if I hold down F and press middle mouse button to look at one, select the menu and then comms, then I'll see Everus Harbour in my list, can click on the little Wi-Fi signal and that will hail it. So we could have done that through the F11 menu in the Mobiglass, but this is just, to my mind, a lot quicker and easier. Helps you keep an eye on where you're going if you're approaching a station at higher speeds, and it's a bit more immersive too. So they've assigned us a landing pad, as you can see with the blue circle with the arrow in it. So we just want to head towards this. And as you come into land, it might be worth sort of reducing your speed limiter a little bit. Sort of you want to make finer adjustments, so you don't want to be randomly thrusting forward into the garage doors. Not that I've ever done that, of course. Just make sure before you land that you press N again to get your landing gear down. And then just gradually set yourself down on the pad. If you need to stop in a hurry because you are coming in too fast, then X is your space brake. Although I've noticed in the recent patch you need to combine it with Shift, holding down Shift, which provides boost. So we can sort of select power off there to shut down our ship. There's a variety of other things we can access there, but the keyboard shortcut would be U. Hold down Y to get yourself out of the seat. It looked like I almost kind of got stuck there. Sometimes you will randomly get stuck in places because of the alpha state of the game. So it's worth knowing that holding down backspace will respawn you. And that will respawn you wherever you last called for landing permission. So one thing I would strongly encourage while I am sort of running you through quite quickly is to just sometimes stop and take a look, because, you know, we're in space and this game is really quite something to look at. So I guess all I'd say is don't be in such a rush to get to the next thing that you miss all of the scenery that CIG created for you. So when you're done admiring the view, though, if you head over towards this entrance here to the station, and admittedly, there's quite a lot of calling elevators. I realise, as I say, call elevator for about the 6th time in the last 15 minutes. But this time we will head to the lobby. Once again, sort of first thing that we see are a load of the vehicle retrieval consoles. We'll actually just stop and put our ship away. Just do that by accessing the vehicle retrieval console and hitting store next to our ship, which will show on the pad. You don't have to do this, but, you know, sometimes it's safer. The Star Citizen community is genuinely the best gaming community I've been a part of, but any large community is going to have a few people whose idea of a fun day is to ram their ship into your ship. So if we just hold down F and right click, we'll open up the action wheel. We'll see a bit of detail about our character, but we can click on actions there. And I just want to go into item actions because I want to show you how to have a bite to eat. And that's apparently quite hard through a helmet. So now that we've clicked helmet unequip once, the helmet equip will be back on our wheel by default. But that's cleared our helmet off our head so that we can come over to this burrito bar and quick buy ourselves a tasty snack. So there are sort of limited survival elements to the game, but it is very limited. I mean, generally in a play session, you might have to stop for food and drink once. So we'll follow Ronaldo's example and have a bottle of water instead of all those tasty-looking beverages. And if we just look down at it with the mouse, we can hold down F and get an option to place it. So this applies to a lot of different items in the verse. So that wasn't too painful, and we're officially space goers. So as I said before, thankfully in the Star Citizen world, you don't have to be a crazy billionaire to leave gravity behind. But space burritos aren't free, and even your little caravan will require fuel. So in the next episode, we're going to take a look at finding ourselves some work. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If you want to stay tuned for more episodes of this guide or check out any of the other stuff on the channel, then consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to speed. It does really help me out. And also feel free to hit me up in the comments. I do my utmost to get back to everybody. And when you're starting out, there's really no question too small or too stupid. So with all that said, thanks for watching all the way to the end, and look forward to seeing you next time.